Oh,
Here
perfect.
she is,
I'm
right on time. That was
Literally perfect
maddening.
timing.
That was
I'm in.
amazing. Literally just press go and she's arrived. Amazing.
Amazing.
Well, now we're all here after the technical hitches are over.
Yeah.
I can introduce Stroma Cairns, who is the director of Sauna, and Elysia Thomas, who is in Sauna, literally in the film Sauna and in the Sauna. And we're here to talk about the film. I'll just recap it. We sort of, not that there are any spoilers in this film, but we always assume that whoever's watching has seen the movie so that we can just talk about it freely and not worry about it. But so just recapping for everyone's benefit, Sauna is a documentary about a real life sauna somewhere in London. I almost don't want to say where because it's so special. I don't want everyone to know where it is and ruin it. And it's about the community of people who gather in the sauna, come from all different walks of life, all different backgrounds, and open their hearts to each other on what seems like a nightly basis, but now we can find out from the people who know. So Stroma, why don't you kick us off and explain how this film came to be and how you came to want to make it?
Yeah, so I basically would go swimming in this gym, and I just became like quite lazy and would just actually end up sitting in this sauna because it was just, well, when I first went, it was just like, I wasn't expecting it to be what it is. Like, I thought it would be a really like chilled, silent sauna because the one that or previous ones I've been to has been like that. And then obviously it's got such a big community there that it was packed full. And actually the Thursday night that I went, it was just like everyone talking, everyone debating. Like a guy just told me his whole life story, and it was just like so moving to just like hear people just being really open. And I just started going more regularly for the sauna as well, because it is really like a lovely thing to do. But mainly I would go to get a sense of connection, and I feel like I haven't, maybe there was a part of me that wasn't really getting that in the time of my life, and I just was really drawn to connecting with lots of people. And so I just decided to document it and try and see if some people would be open to that and be interested in being part of this project.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And how long were you going before you thought, oh, I'm gonna make a film about this?
I was going for about a year, I think. But I heard about The Uncertain Kingdom, and I actually did think of a different idea for the film.
Right.
And I was like going to pitch that. But then at the same time, I was going to the sauna, and I was like, actually, this really fits the brief because it's so many opinions and ideas. It would just be perfect to document London life at night. But yeah, I was going for about a year or something.
Yeah. And then it was time.
Yeah.
And from your perspective, am I pronouncing this right, Elysia?
Yes, Elysia. Yes, completely right.
Just checking. We've got a whole film about that, so I cannot fuck that stuff up. So yeah, tell me about it from your perspective. You've obviously, it's your thing. You're not there as a filmmaker. You're there as a regular person. What does it mean in your life, or did it mean before all this?
I think I was really happy that she went to document it because, I mean, very similar. I've been to saunas and it's just silent. You know, no one is speaking, no one's saying anything, you know, it's quite awkward. And you would think, you know, being in London, being in a big city, you know, people will be more likely to, you know, to talk, to make friends, to, you know, but it's crazy. We're in a big city, but no one doesn't speak to each other, you know, people don't really know their neighbours.
Yeah.
And you never know what people are going through. So I just didn't feel the other saunas. And I'm a sauna girl, I love sauna. So I just didn't really feel them. So I went to this one, and I just love the fact that you can go in there one day and it may be quiet. I mean, that's a very rare occasion, but you know,
Yeah.
but you know, you can go in there meeting different people from all walks of life, and you also can go in there sometimes feeling, you know, just feeling a bit glum, and you can leave feeling refreshed. And it's not just because of the sauna. You leave feeling refreshed because of the people you've met. You know, they seem to care, and they don't really know you. They probably don't even know your name or even your surname, but they just seem to care. And, you know, and I just really love the fact that she, you know, did this film just showing, you know, what the kind of sense of community, especially even now, you know, what a sense of community even means, you know. And, you know, if we lose places like this, you know, what else do you think, where can people go and just maybe just, do you know what I mean? Not let out, but let out. Because sometimes, you know, talking to a stranger, you can get better advice than talking to, you know, your mate you've known for 10 years.
Oh, you can. Yeah. Bus stop wisdom. Bus stop wisdom.
Bus stop wisdom. It is. It really is.
You need it. You need it. Sometimes you just sit down, it just comes out. The person's a bit like, hey,
yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
But then they give you some gems. We need it.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And what was it like
Sorry.
once Stroma had said, like, oh, you know, I want to make this film? How did it change the feeling in the group? Did it?
Okay, so I mean, generally, here's the thing, and I think this is, I mean, it's great that it's crazy that she's, you know, she's done this film, and obviously this whole, you know, Black Lives Matter movement has come out. So it's crazy how things happen, really. You know, it really works. It works in, you know, it ties in uncertain kingdom, just uncertain. I mean, you know, we never knew this was gonna happen. We never knew this whole movement. You know, we just never knew, really. Do you know what I mean? And it's crazy how this works in, because a lot of people, you know, and I did feel it for her, because, you know, she just wanted to film, you know, the sense of community and what was going on. But I think a lot of people from the Black community in the sauna was a bit iffy, and they were iffy only because the media does tend to demonize. Do you know what I mean? So I think because of that sense of distrust, they were unsure what she wanted to do. You know, what she want to do with it. Does she want to do this? Does she want to do that? Is she going to sell it? Is she going to make loads of different ideas of what? And I'm thinking, I mean, she literally just it is literally artwork. It is artwork. I mean, she doesn't even know where it's going to be. Do you know what I mean? She just made it. Honestly, she just wants to just document this point in time, this period, you know, and you get the sense of what she's feeling as well in that film.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So, and I think that's what she wanted to kind of show. Yeah. And I think because of because of the sense of distrust, you know, and I don't think that's your fault. Do you know what I mean? I think it's just because the media, and they obviously see you as a white woman, you know, they put you and the mass media in the same group. Do you see what I mean? So when really you're just making a film and it's just artwork. It's just it's your artwork, you know?
Yeah.
No, I mean, totally. It was like what Elysia is talking about is basically the fact that the sauna was always open when we were filming. So it wasn't like this is a time where only the people, because there was a group of us or a group of you guys who were like completely like, yeah, we're going to do it. Like basically closer friends of mine. But because it was a public space, we didn't hire it out. There was a lot of people that were there who had been going for way longer than I had been going, and who turn up and knew the filming was happening but didn't understand why, but also were intrigued by it, obviously, because it was like, who's doing this? So it was a challenge to then suddenly have to explain it on the day. And I kind of learned that, I mean, obviously, like you say, they were going to have, like, there was no trust there because I'd only just met them. So I've learned that you have to kind of plan it in a way that it isn't intruding in any way, and that like everyone feels comfortable. But yeah, I definitely learned a lot on this film for sure.
Well, it's hard to imagine a more intimate setting.
Yeah,
it's intimate.
I mean, I don't actually know what I was thinking, to be honest.
You know, people are in their underwear.
Yeah, literally, like in their pants, sweating on each other, and you're like, and bearing their souls, and then you're like, I'm just gonna roll the camera on this.
I would have like 2 minutes to try and explain it to people to like be comfortable with that, and that takes, you know, it took ages to explain it to just my friends there. So
yeah,
it was almost impossible and inevitable that it was going to happen.
But I also think because it's different generations as well, different, you know. When you told me, I just got it. I was like, yeah, I get it. It's art. I get it. I totally get it. Do you know what I mean? But I think different generations, they don't really know. Do you know what I mean? And I think having to break it down to them as well, I think it was quite difficult. You know, she wasn't going to take the film and, you know, and sell it to, I don't know, to Channel 5 News. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? It wasn't that. So I think it was just difficult. Do you know what I mean? Just trying to get other people to understand, which I get. And, it was also the very intimate moment when you're in your underwear.
Yeah.
And rightly so. Like, there's a lot of, that generation who see a white filmmaker in predominantly Black community. It is something that takes discussion and trust for that to happen. Like, it wasn't the easiest. Like, it's not that simple. It takes time.
And what was the reaction like? What do you both know about the reaction to seeing the film? Who's seen it, and what have they said about it?
Well, everyone I sent a link to loved it, and a couple of people who didn't actually make the edit were now like chasing me and being like, "Oh, I'm not in it," and I was like, "Oh, well, I thought you weren't wanting to be in it," and so that was really lovely. I've had really positive response, and
What did it feel like to you, Elysia?
Do you know what? Same thing. I mean, I've showed it to my family, I've showed it to my friends, and they did the same thing. They're like, Elysia, it's really, I just love it. It's really good. I mean, it's good to even, I don't think they even knew what my sauna, and then everyone's like, why is he rushing to go to the sauna every day? What's going on here? So now they kind of know why I'm rushing to go to the sauna.
Well, exactly. It's not every sauna you can eat fruit salad,
No, it's
that's
not.
to be treasured.
Yeah, the same as me making it. Like, I obviously was living in Lewisham at the time when I was going, but then halfway through making it, I was all the way back in North London, so I was traveling, and like a lot of my friends and family just were like, "Where are you going?" And I was like, "Oh, I can't bother to explain. Like, I just love this place." Now they see it.
Sauna time.
Don't worry about it. It's a thing.
And it's worth crossing London for, definitely.
Yeah, it actually is. And also, I think the journey of going there was like a really amazing experience in itself, because it was like, on the way back, it would be like 11 p.m. and then you have the complete opposite of like people coming back from work in like London Bridge, coming out of offices and being complete opposite of what the sauna is about and being so open. So it was like the contrast was even more like inspiring to make the film.
I'm just quietly freaking out here. Are you driving? Are you okay?
No, I'm fine. No, I'm literally parked up. I was getting my charger out. That's what it was.
Okay, because I was looking at Stroma, but like your head was moving, and I was like, oh Jesus!
No, I was getting my charger out. I was trying to do it secretly.
I was like, if she crashes on soon,
oh my God.
I don't know. I'm literally trying to get my charger out so it doesn't die.
She's safe.
That's fine. Carry on as you were. Well, while that's happening, tell us, Stroma, about the art of the film, because you're filming in a sauna, probably among the most hostile environments for a camera you can imagine, but you're also trying to make something really beautiful. How are those two things coming together? How are you threading the needle?
Yeah, I mean, that was always a discussion from the beginning, like, what are we doing? How are we going to make it look good in a way? And actually, it just came down to, okay, what camera can we use in the sauna? And then it was like, maybe we should just try using a Sony AS7. And that's what we used to see if it will work. And it did. It would get hot, but then I'd just run out and it would get cool again. But I was actually worried about the way it looked, because I do care about the aesthetic. But actually, I learned on this project more than any project I've done, it does look good, but it was more important to capture what was happening, because that was the most beautiful thing to me. Like, what they were saying and the reactions and the laughter was so important. And yeah, we only shot on one night, so the visuals are just one night, and then the audio is from months, and then just picking the best bits. And then we also I followed four people outside of the sauna. I went to their house, I hung out with them, because I was going to have the beginning was going to be them on their way to the sauna, but it didn't make the edit.
Why not?
So it didn't make the edit because the idea was that you're going to follow everyone all from different walks of life, and then you see them all come together and you're like, oh, that's where they are, that's where they're all going, and you've got a bit of an understanding of their backstory. But then in the edit, you know, part of me kind of misses it, because we shot some lovely stuff of everyone in their own environment, but just in terms of story and in terms of like what was important, the sauna was the only important thing. So we just cut straight in there and just stayed there. It just kind of felt more alive, and just a snippet right into that life, and it kind of slowed it down having the other stuff.
And I think that upshot of the shooting on just the one night and then having all of the audio over so long is that, because the visuals and the audio is sort of abstracted from each other, separated, you have the feeling that you're listening to people's thoughts, and there's a kind of intimacy to it that's above and beyond even what's there, because people are being so open, and you're not actually seeing mouths move. There's just this communal thing, which I think really works.
Thanks. Yeah, I think it was a struggle, obviously, trying to match the audio that was not filmed. I didn't think we'd be able to do it. We kind of did it as an experiment to see whether that could possibly work in the many avenues we tried in the edit. And then it did. We had enough, and then it was like, oh my god, this could be it. And then actually, yeah, you're right, like there's a beauty in maybe not just seeing people talk. Although Elysia, we see you talk, which is I really love.
Literally sweating.
But that thing you say about being in a forest, you get to 25 and then you're just that out there, no idea what's going on. It's such a good metaphor. When the first cut I heard you saying that, I was like, that's exactly what it is.
And you know, and I think what was really good about even going to this one, you're meeting different people, and they're all feeling the same thing. You feel like you're alone in this forest. You feel like, where is everybody? What is going on? Actually, you know what? Everyone, you know, no matter of the colour, no matter of where they're from, everyone actually, a lot of people are actually feeling the same way.
Yeah.
They feel quite, you know, we have to be adults now. I say this, and, you know,
one is enough.
I don't feel like a total adult. I've actually moved out. I still don't feel like an adult. You know, you're still feeling a bit lost. You know how things maybe should be, but you're still not quite there yet. You know, it's literally being in the forest and you know, bumping into people, making a little campfire, having little marshmallows, and then going back off.
Yeah, totally. And every time you bump into someone, you feel, or I do anyway, I feel like I check whether my impression of being an adult is vaguely consistent with their impression of being an adult. Yeah. I'm like, are you also wearing suits? Because I'm wearing suits at the moment. Is that what we're doing?
Am I doing the same thing?
Yeah, and then you're like, okay, cool. See you. Right. Maybe bump into you again.
Okay.
Yeah. Such a weird thing, adulting. Very, very weird.
But yeah, no, I think what Elysia just said about how we all felt the same, that was just the driving force of making the film. You know, Elysia, we literally just met there, you know, and we've met once outside the sauna, but it's like I just connected with what you were saying, and it was like an instant friendship because you're connecting. And maybe like someone else said actually at the sauna, they were like, the thing is, people do this at the pub, but they're all drunk and it's not real. But here, like, no one's drinking, although sometimes on a Friday someone will bring a bottle of rum. A little bit of rum. Sometimes. But it is just so rare that you can talk that honestly. It's like not in a pub, you know.
It's refreshing. And you're at your most, and you are at your most vulnerable. So maybe it's something about, you know, taking off your clothes and, you know, makes you even more vulnerable or more open to just be yourself. Do you see what I mean? At the end of the day, clothes are our, not barriers, but they are our barriers. They are things that, you know, we use to kind of show who we are and to kind of defend ourselves. Do you see what I mean? Strip it off. It's something about that makes you even more vulnerable. More open.
But you're also deliberately putting yourself through a physical experience, which is actually at moments unpleasant. So you're bonded by that. It's like we are all surviving an unusually high temperature, and it's difficult. You know, and we've chosen to do it. You know, so you're sort of doing the thing of going up the mountain together, or, you know, whatever. You're having that kind of like mildly traumatic experience on purpose every night to share.
And then the heat becomes the sort of like heat of the debate, you know, things get heated physically and emotionally, and it's just like it's brilliant.
It is good. It's good to be around, just to hear different people's opinions, and it always challenges your own opinion on things.
Yeah. I mean, this kind of leads me on to what I wanted to talk to you guys about the most, really, is, you know, you two are part of a community that relies on the exact opposite of social distancing. I mean, it is the least socially distance friendly activity you can imagine.
Literally.
And what's the conversation around how you feel about going back? Are some people more nervous than others? Are you missing it? What do you feel about it?
I mean, do you want to start, or?
I mean, obviously I really miss it. It feels like a massive part of my day gone. But also I think it's confusing. I mean, with a lot of things in Corona, I have no idea when that kind of thing will be able to be, like, we're literally sweating together. It feels like it is going to be one of the last things. I can't even imagine it being able to happen in a year, but maybe I'm wrong. But like the kind of togetherness and the sweat and the whole thing just feels impossible right now. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be anytime soon. And
no.
and it's crazy because I generally, you know, sauna for me literally is my, do you know what I mean? I can go home, I go to the sauna, and I can say, you know what, whatever happened in the day, it happened. I don't care, and I can just kind of take up. It's a healthy way of escaping. So, you know, it's like now you have to find another way. And I'll be honest with you, I've never been a runner. I've never been an exercise person. You know, sauna wasn't kind of as much exercise and as healthy kind of as I went. So it's difficult. You know, you are isolated. You know, I live alone, so you are, you know, it's basically me and my cat. So you are quite isolated. You do have to phone people. You have to actually make the effort, really make the effort to speak to people and to, you know, see your loved ones, or kind of see them, you know. But you know, you do miss it. You miss being you miss the community. You just miss it. You miss everybody. You do. It's tough.
One of the things I'm finding hardest about this is descending into conversation. This is no longer a Q&A, but whatever. One of the things that I'm missing the most is spontaneity. I'm really missing, like, and it's not just the spontaneity of like, hey, to your friend, like, let's go do this thing. It's the fact that you can't bump into anyone. Like, nothing can happen that you didn't already know about. Like, you can't bump into someone on Zoom, you know, like, you know, everything is planned. And I think what the sauna has, because everybody's coming and going, and you see it in the film, like, there's just so many faces just kind of passing through, and you think you've kind of got a grip on what the group is, but then hang on a minute, no, there's that person, and the guy who wears seemingly an entire full set of clothes in the sauna, you know.
Jason.
Always one guy.
Yeah, mad. But
no, you're right. Like, even going to the sauna, you wouldn't know who you would meet. Like, or for me anyway, I would always meet someone new, depending on what day it was. Most of the time it was the same group, but like if I went like randomly on a different day, it would just and then it's just, you need to meet new people. Like, I don't know, when is that going to be a thing? You know,
That's what I mean. When you, as you said, spontaneous, you know, even just going out and exploring, you can't go out and explore. Nothing's open. There's nothing. You know, not even kind of go out and, well, okay, you know, I'd go out and explore, or go to this place, go to that place. Okay, you know, food festival. No, can't do that. You know, again, everything's so planned, and I'm not that great of a planner. I'm really not that. I'm actually quite terrible, if I'm honest. So going, you know, being, you know, having to turn my life into an organized structure, it sucks. It just sucks.
Yeah, it's really, sucks. Can't wait for this to be over.
Yeah, it needs to be over.
It needs to really to pack it in now, actually. But coming back to the film, just as a last question, because we're at our time. I wanted to ask you both what you feel the legacy of the film is in your life, what it's left you with what, you know, if it's changed you in any way, that kind of thing?
Yeah, the film has changed me so much, I feel. I know it sounds a bit cheesy, but it really has.
That's what I'm aiming for. I'm aiming for like an uplifting.
Yeah, here we go, right.
Ending. So deliver, please.
No, I don't know, I think maybe working through, there were a lot of challenges on this film, like we talked about it, and learning from that is so important as a filmmaker. So that's really massively changed me. All of the stories and all of the debates, whether I agreed with it or not, have stayed with me, and I can still listen to them if I want to, you know. And it's like it was so special, now I look back on it, to hear these thoughts. And like, I feel like in the film, you know, there's so much more to in the actual experience, because it's just constant, there's so much information coming. And yeah, it's made me really understand a lot of things that maybe I didn't necessarily. So I'm really grateful that I found this community and was accepted into it. So I feel really lucky.
And you, Elysia?
I mean, I just want to say that I think it was a very brave thing to even do the film. You know what I mean? Because, you know, a lot of filmmakers wouldn't have even tried. Wouldn't have even attempted it. And I'm so happy that, you know, you did, because even look, you know, when you're in the sauna, you don't realize the impact that other people have on you, or you even have on other people, until actually you watch it back and say, oh, wow, actually, this is actually a really special place. And I think, especially even in this time, you know, I've watched it quite a few times, especially now, you really appreciate what you have. And maybe you don't realize it at the time, but I think, you know, the sense of community, the sense of just, you know, being around people, listen, you know, having a stranger listen to your woes, or listen to your bad day at work, you know, as small as that is a massive thing. And I think this film just shows how human connection is massive. It's massive. You know, you're literally just going to a sauna. That's all you're doing. But you're leaving with a whole different mindset, or leaving with a whole different attitude. Someone came there feeling depressed and doesn't feel that way anymore. Do you know what I mean? That in its sense, it's a massive thing. So I think I would love you to do a part 2. That would be awesome.
When it opens.
When it reopens, yeah.
Do a part 2. I mean, I think it's just a great, it's a moment in time, and it's a, you know, it's a community, you know, and it's great that you captured that. And that's what I love. You know, you captured something that is very special, and it's heartfelt, and I think anyone who watches that can feel it, and that's the whole point of art.
Thank you, Elysia.
So yeah,
thank you so much.
Honestly, fantastic.
Is just the sort of ending I was hoping for. Thank you both very much. That was spot on.
Thank you.
And also on the topic of community, it was lovely to talk to you both tonight, because it did, even though it was definitely planned, there is an element of spontaneity to talking to you both, because I don't on a regular basis. So
yeah, true.
Thank you both very much, and have a nice rest of your evening.
Thank you.
Thank you. See you later.
Bye, Elysia. Bye.
Yes.